Welcome back to Italy for episode 7 with me, MrSealyp. The payment has been received from Chris for the wood chip for leasing equipment, so we are up to our 237,000. How marvellous. This is the current situation with regard to bales. I've got stacks of bales of all different types, but we don't have a hay bales, which I'm going to have to sort out fairly soon. But we've got some money now, so maybe we can get ourselves a tedder. Should be able to sort that out. Our soybean field 1 is ready to harvest, which we're going to crack on with in just a moment. I'm going to talk about the contract on that because it gets a little bit more complicated. We have got an olive tree situation we need to deal with, but that'll probably be in the morning. Yeah, because I need to look at a couple of other options. Now, what I'm going to do is jump up on here, which isn't going to seem to make a lot of sense to start off with, but let's get the jet wash out and start spraying. So, the contract then, I kind of mentioned it partly, but I said I would go into more detail. So, dear MrSealyp, I represent a natural foods company that has recently got into some issues with when synthetic fertiliser was detected in our products. You were suggested to us as an experienced farmer who is currently looking for new opportunities. If you are interested, here are the basics of the arrangement we desire. We will reimburse you the purchase cost of a medium-sized field, purchased and owned by you. Well, we already started with field 1, so we didn't take them up on that. I suppose thinking about it though, I kind of missed that. A medium-sized field. Maybe if they're still willing to do that, we could pick one in what would be considered medium. Field 6, is that medium or is that a bit too big, do you reckon? Seems a bit pricey. That's a whole block. Field 17, that's a bit pricey too. 27? No, that's 2 together. Well, maybe we can come to an agreement with that. Anyway, yes. Provided you meet the following conditions. 1. The field must first be planted with oilseed radish to purge any residual chemicals from the soil. We did that. 2. We desire 2 harvests of soybean that have only been fertilised by manure, slurry or digestate. Now, we did cover crop and then we used the cultivator, which aerated the soil, which gave us a second fertilising state. So we didn't have to put any chemical down on that whatsoever. It does say preferably digestate, but this is at your discretion. These 2 harvests will be purchased by us at market value plus 20%. So I need to work out 20% of what we get and add it on top. 3. All machinery that contacts the harvest will require that you pressure wash them just prior to contact with the product to avoid any contamination, because we have been doing the contract work and other bits and bobs. So I've sprayed out the trailer. I'm going to give the harvester a quick going over, because that's, that's part of the contract. We need to make sure that everything's okay and that we do not cross-contaminate between non-organic crops and organic crops. Any weeding must be done by manual rake. No herbicides are allowed. We did that as well. 5. Shipping arrangements will be taken care of by us at a suitably convenient location for you. If you find the success acceptable, I don't know why I can't speak today, we would like the option to establish a more long-term arrangement that will include soybeans, but likely will expand to also include organic wheats and oats. We are presently in negotiations with a famous bakery whose name ends in EG to market organic breads and muffins for us. I look forward to working with you. I think we can greatly benefit each other. Sincerely, MC Terry, Executive Vice President, Wharfside Organics Incorporated. So, CLEG is throwing her hat in the ring to the bakery wars, it would appear. So, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm aware, we have now successfully jet washed and prepared the trailer and the harvester, which are going to come into contact with the soybean. So I need to get the soybean harvest done. Then what I'm going to do is cover crop it. We'll get that straight underway. And then we'll get another load of soybean in the ground. Oh, I need to cultivate it today. Oh yeah, so I'll cover crop it, then cultivate the cover crop into the ground. So I'm thinking I need to cultivate it first. And then, yeah, then we'll get it planted again, because it's only asking for 2 harvests. So this will be the field we'll do for both harvests. I don't know what the yield's going to be like. I don't know how well we're going to do off of it. But whether we get the first time, we can double, because obviously we'll get it the second time we run it. I think we're taking this out towards the train station to... I can't remember the name of the sell point. What's it called? We're taking it to Depositi Gragnano is where we're taking this one, I think. So I will be cracking right along with this. Now, the secondary part, which again may be the morning now, I still haven't exercised the horses, which I need to get done, is for olive trees. So I need to find somewhere I can get manure from. I know there's a company that sells cheap produce, I suppose produce, yeah, animal feeds and things like that. So maybe we can get some from there to start us off until we can sort animals out. I have got some contracts for sheep, for cows. Obviously, we've got horses underway already. The cows ones, unfortunately, I'm going to say this, they're varied and odd. Each one has got some little quirk to it that makes it a little bit peculiar to do. One of them's 400 cows, which I just haven't got the space, I haven't got the capacity, I haven't got the ingredients for total mixed ration at all for 400 cows. One is for less cows. I think there's one that I can pretty much do. One is an odd one, and it requires that I only use John Deere equipment, which is a very specific thing, very niche. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to make that work. But anyway, as far as olive trees go then. Dear MrSealyp, my Italian grandfather, Big Non, has sadly been taken ill, and due to the current restrictions we're unable to travel for a few days, so we're looking for local help at this time of need. We have 6 olive trees at Avellino Farm, which is out near field 47. You will need to keep topped up with water and manure to ensure the best yield. As payment, you can receive 50% of the income generated from the olive grove, which works out to be about 13,000 euros per day. Wow, if they're properly cared for. Could you care for them for at least 3 days? Okay. You will need to supply the manure and water yourself. Many thanks in advance, Kevo. Or Kivo, I think it might be Kivo. Since we're Italian, we'll go with Kivo. I think it might be Kevo. So, what we're going to need to do is head out to field 47, but like I say, probably in the morning. We'll sort out some manure, we'll need water. I don't have a water tanker or anything of that description yet. We'll find a water source, we'll get those topped up, and that's helping out the locals as well, so it's a win-win all round. So I need to crack on with those. This is going to take a little while. I will talk about the one for Hank as well, because I need to harvest field 12 and 13. At least then I can get straight on with repurposing both sets of fields for the next crop types going in. But when I get onto field 12 and 13, then I'll talk about the contract for Hank, because he sent me a letter as well, which I'll hopefully remember to put up on the screen. Wonders will never cease. Lovely evening to be doing this as well. So what about all the news then? All the news. Crossplay coming to console. Cool, coming to all platforms actually, not just consoles, it was crossplay. Crossplay coming in FS22, I suppose is what I should be saying. I just finished listening to the podcast 11, where they had the CEO from Nertrado, and they were talking about the various different ways of going about things. As it stands on console, multiplayer, 6 players. On PC, you can go up to 16 when you're hosting, and if you've got a server, 16. And you can rent servers from Nertrado, so it runs from the server, although you kind of host it. And there is that option where you can leave the game or server running, so people can access it when you're not there, if you choose that as an option. Now, from, I think he said September the 20th, you can pre-order or pre-book your 2 months of access. So you can pre-order or pre-book your 2 months of access, and then you can access it when you're not there, if you choose that as an option. Now, from, I think he said September the 20th, you can pre-order or pre-book your 2 months of access, and then you can access it when you're not there, if you choose that as an option. Now, from, I think he said September the 20th, your server, and you will be able to now have, with FS22, console servers. So you'll be able to rent a server for console, and you'll be able to run it 16 players. Because it's not running through the main system on the multiplayer, it's running through the server. So you'll be able to have 16 players playing cross-play, or just console, or console Xbox, or whichever combination you want to do, but you can have a server and run 16. Now I was just having a look actually, because I've never actually, because I'm on console, never had a dedicated server. I don't play a lot of multiplayer as a rule anyway. I was looking at the prices, and it's actually not that expensive. I think it worked out, as it stands at the moment, I don't know what it's going to be for console, but I can't see it being much different. If you have one for 16 players and up to 25 gigabyte of memory space for all the stuff you want on there, I think it works out £15 a month. Which, if you're going to play a lot of multiplayer stuff and you want to host a server, you know, especially when a lot of YouTubers and stuff do, I thought it was going to be really, really, really expensive. Now, for some people, that's a lot. You know, it is a lot of money. You know, but I think because I can kind of as a business, if I'm going to look in FS22 to maybe doing a bit more streaming and maybe doing some more multiplayer, because I haven't really done a lot of it, I thought maybe getting a server, you know, from Letrado. Why not? I think it's a pretty banging idea, so I think I probably will. And then maybe we'll get some multiplayer stuff on the go. Who knows? But yeah, it's all exciting stuff, isn't it? Exciting times. Right, I've got to be careful now. That stopped on a sixpence, didn't it? 4-2 we should get to. There we go. Pipe out. I'll unload the first load. And we can get cracking. So yeah, really looking forward to it. There's going to be so much stuff. It's going to be incredible, the things we're going to be able to do, and I think it's going to be, you know, it's a big step forward. I know a lot of people were saying about how, you know, FS22 didn't seem to be enough of a jump forward, didn't seem to be bringing enough to the table, didn't seem, you know, I mean, that alone, if they release a new version of the game and say, right, we can now do crossplay, that's huge. That is a huge development for a game. Without anything else, you know, without all the other options and all the things they're bringing to the game, that's massive. Unless, of course, you don't play any multiplayer at all, in which case it's probably not relevant to you, but regardless. I will see you later on. I have the sea of soy to clear, so I'm going to crack on. .524, field 1 is cleared, and I've already started cultivating it. I'm going to get the oilseed radish cover crop in as soon as I can, so we can cultivate that in as soon as we can, and then we'll get our soybean in the second harvest. I'm going to go this way because the route I should be taking. While I'm on the way there, I just want to mention, I know it sounds a bit of a shill, but a lot of people have been asking of late, or just generally have been asking, about merchandise and when will stuff be available and that kind of thing. We have, I say we, myself and SealyG, or mostly SealyG, has set up on Teespring. They're very limited at the moment, just t-shirts and hoodie with a few different colour selections, just as a kind of trial thing to see how it works. Now the main link isn't working, but there is a link direct to the t-shirt section, direct to the hoodie section. So if you're interested in a bit of MrSealyp merch, the links are in the description for both down below. You might be able to go on to one and from that to the other, but they're both down there if anybody's interested in picking something up. We are going to be adding some more lines to that, hopefully beanie hat, baseball cap, maybe some stickers, possibly a mug. We're having a look at the options, and SealyG's got an idea for a hoodie with the logo and MrSealyp down the sleeve, or a long sleeve t-shirt or something along those lines. I think I've just gone past where I should have been. That's weird. Why are there two bales still sitting there? That was Cole's contracts. They haven't collected them all. They've left two behind. That's odd. Anyway, MC Terry, your first load of organic soybean is going to be winging its way to you. We'll see what we get, because we get 20% on top of this. $19,122. So that's what, about another 4 grand, 3 and a bit grand on top of that? Is that right? Something like that. Right, so next. Yeah, I've moved the harvester over to field 13, 12 and 13. And I'm going to, well, I'll see you over there in a minute, because I'll talk about Hank's contract on there while I start doing that, because I need to get that done before it gets dark, really. I've made a start, I want to crack on with it, so I'll take this back. I did get a fine. Did I mention the fine the other day? From Andrew. €2,500 fine for exactly what's happening now. For going the wrong way down a one-way street. There was a white car coming. I don't know if you remember the episode where I did that. And it said in the fine notice that I couldn't say I didn't do it because I'd recorded myself doing it and then going down the one-way street anyway. So yeah, at some point we've got to pay that. Dear. I think I might. I'm racking my brains now thinking, did I mention it or did I mean to mention it? I might have already mentioned it before. Actually, I just realised I need this trailer and tractor down at the field where I'm harvesting. So now's as good a time as any, I suppose, to introduce Hank's contract. He's, like I say, he sent me a letter, so it should come up on the screen, hopefully, again, if I remember. Dear MrSealyp of SealyP Farms, my name is Hank Whipple of Whipple Family Farms in Hawke's Bay, New Zealand. The farm was owned and run by my great uncle Marcus, who has recently passed. I was surprised to find that I inherited the farm, as I was never involved. Indeed, I've been a city dweller most of my life. Uncle Marcus didn't leave much feed for the animals when he passed, nor much money in the bank. Being a rookie at this, I made the mistake of planting my fields with poppies and rye. I need oats for my horses and feed for my cattle. Whatever you can spare, come harvest time, I'm willing to pay fair market value for it, using the proceeds from my own harvest this year, including shipping costs. I have a friend who is willing to make the run to pick it up with his tramp freighter at cost. I'm also willing to do some sort of work in trade, should that be more to your liking, which it might be, I suppose. Yeah, we have sheep, chickens, horses and cattle. I would be willing to trade some of the animals as well. I'm very flexible. I just wish to correct the mistake I have made in my estimates to the amount of feed the animals will require. Yours sincerely, Hank Whipple Whipple Family Farms, Hawke's Bay, New Zealand. My harvester is all up there. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be sending oats for the horses. I don't know really about animals, whether or not to just take the money for the oats, and if we want to buy animals, we can. Because I have got some contracts for animals, but they're not. Yeah, we'll see. So I've left the rake over here. I used that on field 11 because it's a narrow header. When I've got all of the rows done, I can row up 3 rows, I think it is, into one with the rake, which is quite handy. And I am still using Carl's baler. As it stands at the moment, I don't know if I've heard back from Carl or not. I've been checking. So we'll bale those up. So all that's going to get baled. That will go in my mishmash of bales over at the farm, because I do have some baling contracts. If I can get enough bales, I might be able to complete one of those as well. We'll see what we get off it this time. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to whiz across the field now. I'm going to carry on with the oat harvest on here, which will be heading off to Hank Whipple. And then I'll be prepping the second part of MC Terry's contract on field 1. At the end of the day, if you're struggling to keep up with the contracts, especially ones like the one I'm doing for MC Terry, where it's not just one harvest, it's going to be split over 2, and some of the ones that do get complicated where people are asking for 3 or 4 different crops, don't worry, you haven't got to pay attention to who it's by or who it's for or anything like that. You can just enjoy the farming. You can just watch what I'm doing and listen to the bits you want to listen to, ignore the bits you don't, which I'm sure a lot of people do anyway. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I just think if I can get these harvests done this evening, and if I work late into the evening with the raking and baling maybe, and then tomorrow what I can do is then prep fields 11, which is that one to the left, 12 and 13, for whatever crops going in next. So I'd have to look down my list. I've got some barley contracts. Oh, actually I might do a barley one. So I've got a couple of brewery contracts which I want to pick up soon. Have an update from Big Papa C as well regarding the horses, which I can talk about at a later date, but the gist of that being they feel bad because what I've taken on was more than Big Papa C's smoked hams, but more than they thought it was going to be for me. So they have offered to send some more straw and things like that. You know what, I'm going to read it out now while I'm doing this bit. I'll mind that tree. Well, mine's gone blank. Horses. Big Papa C, horses update. That's what I've got it listed as. Honestly, the logistics of doing this, it takes a bit of time. Dear sir, I and our board of directors are deeply gutted. I love that. Deeply gutted you've run into unfamiliar snags and hiccups as per husbanding. What's the matter with me? Husbanding our horses. What with the purchasing of a straw spreader, which I had to get the straw blower. I think I just leased it actually, but for laying down the bedding, to the lack of feed we sent on our part, we therefore offer you some more bales of straw and hay to bolster your reserves. We also would like to alter the former set pay for taking on the contract. We agreed at 50-50 I think in the end. Therefore, instead of the 50-50 split, our company offers 55% of the profit from the delivering side of the equines, whereas we will wholeheartedly take the remaining 45%. We believe this to be fair and agreeable settlement for the various woes that you have run into. If you're in agreement, please notify us as soon as conveniently possible. Thank you, Big Papa C. It says, sincerely, Big Papa C, CEO, Big Papa C's Hickory Smoked Heavenly Hams. Thank you, Big Papa C. I really do appreciate it. I like, again, when I said about subscriber contracts, I like the fact that people will watch, but only they watching, they're kind of, it's evolving as it goes. Like I said, there's not a narrative per se on here, but it's an evolving thing, that as you're talking about people, and they're real people, actual subscribers, people with real lives, and then if they're running their farms alongside this, or they're just running their farms, it just adds another element to it. And I like the fact that that becomes an evolving process in some situations, and I like that. So thank you, Big Bobber C. So yeah, potentially we might be getting some more. I mean, I've got a load of straw bales, to be fair. Hay maybe. Actually, I might keep some of the oats off of here, because Hank Wibble's contract did say as much as you can spare. I might take a little bit of whatever we get off here and take it down just to feed, give a little bit more feed to the horses. I don't know what oats is paying at the moment. Actually, you know what? That's the other thing I was going to say. When I said about that company that is providing feed, if we go look here at oats, it's paying, or it's dropping at the IFE, but it's 1,055, and at Deposito Gragnano it's going up 914 and climbing. If that goes above 1,000 for 1,000, I'm pretty sure that we have got access to, is it under pallets? Yeah, these. So you've got barley, canola, chaff, maize, oats, oat pallet. 1,000 for 5,000 litres. So I can sell my oats at over 1,000 for 1,000, and I can buy for 1,000, 5,000 litres back. So I could get some horse feed, potatoes, soybeans, sunflower, wheat, silage, straw. So there are some options there. That's incredibly cheap. There's such a good deal there. Because there's canola, barley. So even that, like for chickens, 1,000 for 5,000 litres. And then what you get paid for the eggs, depending on what map you're on, that's not a bad deal. They've obviously got a very good way of manufacturing cheap feed and things for animals, livestock, whatever it might be. Awesome. Well, I will love you and leave you at this point. And probably see you in the morning, I guess. Because the things I'm going to be doing, finish off this harvest, raking it, baling it, stuff you've seen me do before. I'm going to cultivate it because my seeder isn't a direct drill, so it'll need cultivating. What I am going to do though, when I seed these fields, I'm going to preemptively spray. I couldn't do it on field 1 because I couldn't use chemical, but I'm going to preemptively spray, and then hopefully I won't get any weeds up on this field. That's the plan. Ten to 7 in the morning. I also say early to bed, early to rise, but I wasn't really that early to bed. Chickens, how we're looking? I'm really puzzled. The first night I woke up, there were 4 egg boxes. And over the last 24 hours, I've only got 2. Why have they slowed down? I'm a bit baffled. We finished the harvest on field 12 and 13. I have also cultivated 12 and 13. That's good to go. What I am going to do, as well as sorting out the olive trees for that contract, I'm going to get a new seeder. I'm going to swap out. Where is the seeder? Where have I left it? It's over here somewhere. I'm going to get. That's a 4. I'm thinking I'm going to go for a 6. Was that a 3 metre? And I haven't quite decided what one I'm going to go for yet. But hopefully we'll be all right. So what I'm going to do, I've got a bit of a double whammy I need to do first. Cover crop was in. That's now grown because that only takes 1 cycle. That needs to be cultivated in. Then we can get a crop in the ground. And we should be okay. Then I will need to mechanically weed. I'm going to try again with the harvester thing because apparently it does work. If not, I'm going to try again with the chain harrow because I've also been reliably informed that does work as well. So I don't know what was going wrong with me when I was doing all that. The horses were exercised last night. They're going to obviously need doing again today. But what I'm going to do is drive the trailer down to Deposito Gragnano, and this will be the first. Hopefully I'll be able to do some more for Hank at some point. But this is what I've got at the moment. There's only about 18,000 litres, I think. Yeah, it wasn't as much off that field as I thought I was going to get, in all honesty. I gave a little bit to the horses, but like 1,000 litres or something, so it wasn't a huge amount. So this will be heading to you, Hank. I hope it helps out. But while I'm down there at the livestock market, we should be able to buy. We should be able to buy some manure because the livestock market has a surplus. Please turn. I'm real trouble with this here. There we go. So it's on the right side of the road. There we go. I was thinking that car's on the wrong side of the road. So yeah, we'll head down and we'll do that. First things first, let's get this delivered. Farm dog loves delivering oats, as you can tell in the background. Right, so that's heading off to you, Hank. Like I say, hopefully that's going to be helpful. You may have noticed the money had gone down. There was a couple of investment opportunities I needed to take advantage of, but I also had to pay that fine. Thank you, Andrew. So the £2,500 fine for going the wrong way down a one-way street. That's been paid as well. One of the investment opportunities was the access to manure. I had to buy a permit. Go with it. So here at the livestock market, we should be able to get manure. Please work. Now, I was going to wait to do this until we had the cows up and running or something like that, and just use the manure for the cows. But I thought, you know what, we'll crack on with it now. Any spare manure I've got, I'm not going to do this holds 48,000 litres. I don't need 48,000 litres worth, do I? Just trying to think. If I've got 6 trees to do, they usually, I don't know, could be anywhere between 2 and 4,000 litres of manure. Could be 3. I don't know how much each one's going to take. So minimum 12,000 litres, maximum 16, do we reckon? Not 16, that's the 4 trees. What am I talking about? I'll go for about 30,000 litres. It's not costing me a huge amount of money, so that's not so bad. And then I need to get a water container. We'll whiz back to the farm, grab some water, go out there, do that. That'll be the olive tree situation sorted out, hopefully. Yeah, 30,000 litres will do. We'll see what we end up with. So this is for Kevo. I think it's Kevo, but I'm trying to be fancy. And I will receive 50% of the income generated from the olive grove because I'm helping them out of a tight spot. Actually, I was just thinking, I'm going to get in trouble again, aren't I? What if I could drive all the way around? There's got to be a route round, doesn't there? Might mean going out of our way a little bit. Down past the dairy, I think. I've been this way already? I'm trying to think if I have or not. We do own that yard there as well. Just don't know if I've ever used it. There was an investment made there as well, so there you go, roundabout under the bridge, and that should take us round without incurring another fine. Should. So yeah, so hopefully what we'll do, we'll get this done. The water, so much I need to sort out. This done, water, then cedar. The cedar's not going to be cheap. I reckon we're going to be looking at 60 grand. I'm thinking of getting the Lemken. You know, I do like the Lemken Solitaire, and I've used the standard one. I used the Solitaire 12.8 on 6 ashes. There's now the 12.6, so I might go for a 6 metre Lemken Solitaire. I've tried different ones on Rasvet. What else did I use one on? Not the Solitaire, a different brand. that the field just there? Oh, I wonder if I can get to it from here. There's no fence, is there? But there are a lot of weeds in that field at the bottom. Yeah, they'll need water, I think, before the olives will grow on the trees. This is it, field 47. On the wrong side, aren't I? So it's not going to... Oh, there we go. Bit of a panic there. How much did that take? Oh, 500. To be seen anywhere between 2,000 and 4,000 litres. 500. It's a nice little terrace up here. Oh, it's just about to disappear off that little rocky outcrop. What is that one too? Oh, yeah. Hang on. Got to get the correct side. That's what we need. Just there. Please work. I don't know. Why are we not getting it come up this one? There we go. Ooh, back up. I'm going to have way too much manure left. Actually, what I could do... Oh no, I was going to say what I could do is just leave a pile of it up here. And I can just come up with a loader or something with a bucket to redo it. But is that going to be... that's going to be particularly helpful, is it? I don't know. We'll see. I think I might just go for a standard water container to start off with, just a, a Aquatrans or something. Oh no, what am I talking about? I've got one of the horses, haven't I? It's already got water in it. I'll just grab that. I'm so torn. Oh, I'm going to leave a pile. I'm going to leave a pile here. Please leave a pile there. There we go. Right, water next. Just drag that over the pile. Not particularly dainty. See, these little things, I love this. This map is amazing. Look at this. Just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Right. First bit done. See you back here in just a second with some water. I was watching DJ and Clutch's Farm Sim show last night. I honestly don't think I've laughed so much in absolutely ages. Had an absolute blast. A few comments in the chat and that kind of thing. There were so many other content creators and modders and stuff in the chat as well. It was brilliant. I mean, it descends into anarchy. I don't know if you've ever seen any of the Farm Sim show. Usually done on a Friday night. Not always, but... oh man. Absolutely... hilarious. But DJ was talking about, the YouTube Shorts thing. It's become a bit of a, I think they're trying to compete with TikTok and that kind of thing. And I was talking with CDG about it, and she said, you should do some. I said, what do you mean? You should do some. Now, my brain melts, and I put that in the chat. I've always been, anyone who follows my channel, when I do that whole, I think this episode is going to be a shorter one. It ends up like 55 minutes long. The idea of me trying to do a video that's less than 60 minutes is difficult. 60 seconds? I honestly think my brain would explode. But I have been giving it some thought. And what I was going to ask was, here, you know, for anyone who's watching on here, I might mention it on some of the other videos as well, what would you want to see? If I was going to do TikTok shorts, someone did mention MrSealyp isms, so the phrases and stuff I say. I thought about a couple of amusing little things I could possibly do. I don't know, I'm just thinking about it as an idea. There we go, olive trees. So we should be looking after these for, is it 3 days? I'm sure it was 3 days. Yeah, could you care for them for at least 3 days? Okay, so it'll be a minimum of 3. So it'll be a bit of water, a bit of manure. We've got plenty of manure there. I think if these last a day on 500 litres of manure and a little bit of water, we're not going to have any problems at all. I just want to grab this from the horses from the paddock, and I've just topped their water up, so they're okay for the time being as well. Well, just went over the outcrop, just realised. Came with that, it's just completely the wrong way. I'll love you all very much. Oh, you've got to get an olive gag in there somewhere, haven't you? Excellent. It's very nice out here. Just thinking, looking from this angle, you've got the terrace and the olive trees and a massive pile of manure. Maybe that's not as nice to see, but righty ho, that's that bit done. So you have to think about it. I know it's a bit of a kind of a bit of a fad, like everything. Well, I say that, you know, TikTok started off as a bit of a fad, like Vines, and all the various different Snapchats and all the things over the years that have come and gone. Is it going to be the same with that? I was going to go towards there, wasn't I? Yeah, I'll see you at the store in a minute. Let's swap out this seeder. I'm going to seed field 11, 12, 13. Well, this is it here. This is 11 right here. 11, 12 and 13. I'm going to put barley in those, so I've got some barley contracts. And then I'm going to preemptive spray. So once the seed is in the ground, I'm going to preemptive spray with herbicide to hopefully stop the weeds coming through. We'll see how that pans out. Just honestly at this point, who knows? Just, you know. I think the problem with weeds is me. I'm the problem. It's not weeds themselves per se. I think it's just... Yeah. Let's just leave it at that, shall we? Seeder in hand. Well, not in hand. We're going to head to the store. Let's swap it out. I'm going to spend some of my hard-earned money. I'm hoping, yeah, I'm just thinking it's going to not be as wide as a harvester, because I'm going for the Solitaire 12.6. It shouldn't be as wide. Shouldn't be. Let's drop you off. I'm also going to take a bit of a punt and do I repair it? Should do really, and then sell it. 10,198. That gives me a little bit towards what I'm going to get. So then we go to our seeders. There we go, 12.6. 65 grand, 6 meters wide, 5,800 litres. Oh, we can change some stuff. DJ Goham favourite. Hey, if it's good enough to DJ, it's good enough for me. MrSealyp green for the cover. Absolutely. Trelleborg, Michelin, Mitres, live on Trelleborgs. Oh, like those knobbly bobblies. Ridge markers? No, I'm fine without ridge markers, I think. 69 grand, let's buy it. It's a big investment. Now I'm going to take it past the biogas plant. I'm going to go to that point where we can get, well, we can refill stuff. Now it's not my usual supplier, so I think I'm going to be, I know I'm going to be utterly horrified by the price. Because I'm used to, oh, actually, you know what? It's not as wide as I thought it was going to be. That actually fits really well. I like that. I was concerned, but you know what? It's all good. What's the cover note? Which one of these is seed? Assuming one is seed, of course. Oh, really, I'm dreading this. Oh, straight away. Ready for this? You're ready for this? So, 4,175. Good grief! Is that what regular people pay with their seed? I don't think I've paid that much in years. I mean, like 5,800 litres should be a couple of £100, shouldn't it? That's what I normally pay. I'm not used to it. That's catastrophic amount of money. Oh well. Got to support local business, that's what I say. It's just lucky for me that CNS Modding Anne-Marie is local wherever I go. This is a local shop for local people. Right. So, once we get there, we get seed in the ground. And then, oh, that's handy, isn't it? You can imagine that's just been worn down over the years, people cutting the corner. Get on the right side of the road, you buffon. Oh, that reminds me. When I baled all that, I said last night I was going to bale it. I got 30 straw bales. 30 off that field. But again, in what I was just saying, I just left it by the side of the field. Well, that'll do. That's all right, leave them there. But the good thing about it is, why am I baling everything I possibly can when I've got the opportunity to? I could have just turned off Enable Straw Swath and everything would have been fine. Because I do have a load of contracts for bales. One of them is for Lee, who needs 40 bales, I think it is. Although, did he want square? Oh, that could be annoying. So I think with the 30 here, and I've got way more than 10 over there, we could probably fulfil his contract. You can always cut them in half or something. If you cut them in half that way, if you're going to use them as seats or something. Maybe, I don't know. So, I'm going to get the barley in, then we'll preemptive spray, and then I think we might be there for this episode. I'm just thinking. Oh, I like this. Turn it on. Drop it down. Let's rock and roll. Now, as I was going around this field baling last night, the other thing I did think I'm probably going to do, I'm going to cut some trees down. Now, I said about combining the fields here, and I ummed and ahed and then said, oh, I don't think I'll bother. But you know what? I think I'm going to. There's a couple, I mean, this one, between this field and the next field, there's a telegraph pole, which I can't cut down. But I did say the first few times I did this field, some of the trees are right up against the field edge. Which this one's not too bad, but there's a couple that are literally right on the field. So I think I'm going to remove those, and between this field and, not this field, between field 12 and field 11, you'll see it just over there in the distance. There's a tree right in the middle, and what I want to do is plough the gaps out. I am going to plough the gaps out and make this into one large field. See here? This tree right on the edge, I think I'm going to remove it. I'm going to remove it, wood chip it, just to give myself a little bit of a border. Some of these aren't too bad, I don't mind the ones that overhang. It's just when the actual trunk, let's say stump, the trunk is in the way. Like this one here, if I combine the two fields, that's in the way as well. So I think I'm going to do that. But I'm going to barley the whole lot. I won't, like I say, I won't talk about the contract that requires it until it's ready to harvest. Once we get to that point, then we can talk about... It depends how much I get as well, because I'm pretty sure both of the barley ones, I think I've got 2 barley contracts, they require quite a lot. Although one, I'm trying to think, one might be 40 odd thousand litres. I might get it off of this. I don't know. So yeah, between now and when I next see you, I may take those, I may lock those trees out. I did all that wood chipping and logging in the last episode, so I don't want to bore you by doing more of the same. So anyway, as far as Kevo goes, your contract is ongoing but done. So your water and yours in. So I hope that's okay. And yeah, I think that's what annoyed me. I think I just want to tidy all this up a bit, and I am going to do what I said. I need to take the harvester back to the farm. I'm going to leave the rake here, because when this is ready to harvest, and if I do combine the windrows together of straw to make straw bales, in my field 1 I'm doing soybeans, so there won't be any swath for that, so I don't need it. But oh yeah, hay, I need to do hay, so I'm going to need to get a tedder. Hopefully I can use Carl's bat wing and then Ted. I mean, yeah, no, I like it actually. I was just going to say, oh, maybe I could get a different mower set up, but I quite like it, so no, we're going to stick with that. We shall stick with it. Right, you know the drill. Actually, this isn't a direct drill, is it? Didn't even look. Is it a direct drill? Did I do something clever and get something that I wasn't expecting? No. Oh, I thought it was going to be such a witty pun then. Well, as you've seen, I bit the bullet and decided I was going to plough out the gaps in between. I also have sorted the trees out, they're gone, and the wood chips I sold from doing the trees has brought the money up a little bit. Part of the investment I said I'd invested in a couple of things was here at this little plot, this little yard that we own, which is right up here. I think it's 4,800 and something this plot was, and it gives you an extra silo. We've had this right from the start. I've invested in this shipping container. You may have seen this before. Replenishment container. When it first came out, everything was free. I did, unfortunately, in the transfer from PS4 to PS5, because I had to reinstall it. It meant that I didn't get the free anymore. But hopefully, I'm trying all different options. I know I've kind of fallen into the habit of using the CNS Anne-Marie silo. There's the Buy Anything silo. I've gone for the manure system again this time, which I haven't used for a while. So I thought, you know what? I think, was it Baron Papa mentioned it? Let's give this a go and see what this is going to cost us for herbicide here. Hopefully not too much. I mean, it's not a massive herbicide tank, in all honesty. Yeah, it's alright, isn't it? We might try it for liquid fertiliser or other fertilisers too. And I'm going to take the route round and see you around there in a minute. And I'm going to do some preemptive spraying, because I just think, hopefully this Massey will run it. Don't see any reason why it wouldn't, but it's just got to be worth a try, isn't it? I've got so much equipment out of that field now, 11, 12 and 13, so I need to tidy some of that up and get all of that moved. So barley's in the ground. Oh yeah, I need to cultivate in the cover crop on field 1. Once that's in the ground, I can use my new seeder and put my second soybean crop into field 1. And yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're knocking through these contracts at quite a rate. I'm going to start from this end, field 11, and work my way down. One of the trees I took out I'll be honest, some of them, unlike other maps I've been on recently, some of the trees didn't like being removed. One of them was nearly 60,000 litres. That's got to be the most I think I've ever had. So, like I say, hopefully this will run it. If it doesn't, I'll just go and grab the fit, then keep it fairly close to the ground. I'm just trying to think of the sweep of this hillside. Now, in the times I have done herbiciding, yes, it doesn't look like it's putting anything down. That's what worries me. Is it because I've just seeded? But I'm sure you're supposed to put it down straight after seeding, aren't you? But it's not like the ground is changing colour. Oh, actually, I need to raise that. It's too low. The ground's not changing colour. It just bothers me that it's not actually doing anything. I honestly don't know if this is going to work at all. I'm mildly baffled. I mean, the herbicide is leaving the tank. And it is supposed to be done if you're going to preemptive spray straight after seeding, you spray. That's what I'm doing. Well, this is going to be one of those kind of, you know, just suck it and see, really. We have to just wait and see what happens. As you can see, all the gaps between have been sorted. Whoa, shouldn't have turned there. A bit of a knock on the tree. Because I'm pretty sure, let's just stop there a second. If we go to our map, I don't think it shows anything, does it? Even if you are. It's not like there's a herbicide, you know, we've got the fertilizer, we've got liming, you know, and obviously if you use herbicides in the final stage to get rid of the fully grown weeds, but if you apply it as a preemptive, there's not, yeah, nothing's showing. Well, on this potential catastrophe, no, not catastrophe, waste of time, well, I don't know, whatever, however you look at it, we'll see. If it starts to grow and we get a ton of weeds, then we get a ton of weeds. I am going to invest in a mechanical weeder, definitely. And what was the thing? Oh, tedder we need to get. And there was something else I was thinking. Oh yeah, I said about getting a lorry, didn't I? I said about getting a lorry and trailer. There's a few Fiat ones knocking about, so I might well do that. But I think, as far as today's goes, we've got the olives done. We've got both the harvest done we needed to. We've delivered the stuff to Hank. We've potentially got stuff on hand for... I don't know where I've been either, do I? Not convinced. I'm sure everyone will be shouting at the screen and I'll have done something majorly wrong, but... Oh yes, potentially I've got enough bales I can sort Lee's contracts out as well. And yeah, and then we'll talk about the barley contracts on here later. We've got our the greenhouse one. I've got one for a greenhouse I need to do at some point. I need to find a little plot of land or a space somewhere on the land I've got. Maybe we should invest in a new field as well, do you reckon? Got enough money, haven't we? Maybe. So I need to get that sorted as well. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.